Susan Hill's Ghost Story is a adaptation of a book she wrote called The Small Hand. Susan Hill's best known, I think, for writing The Woman in Black that was turned into a film starring Daniel Radcliffe a few years ago by Hammer. This was a 2-hour adaptation on Channel 5 that was shown on Boxing Day, and it'll be available on My5, I'm sure. The story is a antique bookseller goes to a property to sell a book. The neighbouring property is one that he remembers from his childhood. It's a sort of a big old manor house type building that's been left in disrepair. He experiences a small boy holding his hand when he's there and has sort of a moment, and then feels compelled to buy the property for some reason. It calls to him from his childhood, and as he's there he discovers that there's more things to do with this place than he initially remembers. There's sort of blanks in his memory over what happened, and he starts seeing ghosts. Sees a ghost of a small boy, and then he sees a ghost of the small boy's mother, and he keeps having this sensation of wetness and drowning. And as the plot develops, this ghost starts off sort of relatively friendly, the little boy, and it gets more and more aggressive till it ends up killing someone, and then it ends up being violent towards him and people who he brings to the property, such as a priest, to try and exorcise the ghost. This film adaptation, whatever you want to call it, it's something that should be really, really creepy and really, really scary, but isn't. I don't know why it isn't. I think it's because it's got this sort of vacant feeling to it. There's like, where there should be tension and perhaps sort of dread and sinister atmosphere, there just isn't. I think that might be because it's either devoid of sound or just because of the look of it. It looks barren, but that's normally fine, that can give you a feeling of isolation, and that in itself can make you scared, but it just doesn't seem to click or work. It might be because it's got a bit of a televisual look to it. Again, I'm not sure, but whatever it is, some ingredient is missing from it. The acting's good. It's main star is Douglas Hensel. He's fine in it. He looks sort of haunted and worried, and the supporting cast is fine as well. It just didn't sort of click for me. It all felt a little bit, like something was missing. There is a good mystery element to it. You're trying to guess what the boy's death, and why he's haunting people, and why he's occupied with this character. And my wife and I were trying to guess throughout what was going to go on and whether there'd be a twist in the end and what would happen. And that was interesting. That was fun. But to fill 2 hours of television, it just wasn't enough. I think it could have been an hour and a half long. Maybe that would have solved the problem, and it could have been shot in a lot more, or edited in a lot more creepy, sinister fashion. It needed to pile on that sort of dread sensation, where at no point did you ever feel that anyone was scared whilst they were dealing with this ghost or in this property. Whilst people would act as though they were scared, it never felt like they were scared. If you're really interested in seeing another adaptation of this author's works, then check it out. It'll be on My5, so you can watch it, when you want. But I wouldn't make it sort of appointment television. It felt like a bit of a damp squib. There was something a few years ago on Christmas that Mark Gatiss adapted. He adapted a ghost story as well, not a Susan Hill one, but he did it for the BBC. I imagine that'll be shown, or if it's not available on iPlayer somewhere. Can't remember what the name of it is now. I'll have a look. But that might be worth checking out if you want a sort of little creepy watch. If you've got any comments on it, or they missed certain big chunks out of the book, because I haven't read the book, please feel free to let us know. Otherwise, please like and subscribe, and have a nice Christmas.